performance. Because obviously, like I'd like to say, is mindset isn't everything, but it affects everything we do. For you to get better in your own job, for you to be a better significant other, for me to be a better father, for me to be a better spouse, it's typically not because it's not that I don't know what to do, and I just don't do it. So it's a mindset blockage. Why does your son or daughter have turnovers, miss shots? They know what to pass. They know to try to shoot basketball, but maybe they lack confidence, they lack self-talk, they're inconsistent. So it's a mindset thing typically. But here's the thing is, when I work with high-level athletes, in my conversation with them, a lot of times I also have, in these one-on-one intimate more conversations, a lot of it sometimes has to do with the impression or relationship or lack of relationship that the parent has with them and how that affects them on the court. And trust me, I've heard a lot of things that I will not repeat because that is a one-on-one conversation with me and my athlete. But I want you to also understand that they're listening. They're watching. They're seeing your actions, your attitudes, your behaviors, your words. They matter. Because I like to say, if they're cloudy up here, they're going to be cloudy out there on the court. But if they're clear up here, they're going to be clear out there on the court. And here's the thing. I don't want to think that we're bad parents. What I want us to think is, think of how many coaches and trainers they've had between when they were born till now. They've had 10 to 20, 30 coaches and trainers through their lifetime. How many coaches have we had to be better parents? Zero. We've never been taught. So what do? We watch the people next to us on the sidelines, in the bleachers, how are they acting? And let's be honest, how are they acting left and right of us? Like clowns. They're crazy. So the actions and attitudes that we see, because we don't know any better, like, well, if they're doing it, then heck, I might as well do the same thing. But not thinking about how does that psychologically affect them, because realistically, it's their performance that matters, not yours. So again, my job is to make us think differently, the same way I'm going to make your athlete think differently, so they can act differently. If I can make you think differently, just take one little tweak away from this conversation, I hope that will not just help their performance, but also help your relationship as well. So, how do we get here? How do we get here is very important. Research shows that 75% of our youth will quit sports by the age of 13. Obviously, we're past 13, so congratulations. But 75%, 3/4 of our youth are stopping physical activity around that age. And if you have a younger kid, what are they doing? They're on their phones, they're on video games all day long. So we have to understand, it's not just about scoring points, it's not about just winning trophies. It's a lot more, it has to do with the psychological, the improvement of what they're doing, activity, things like that. Here's my favorite one. There was a research study done that asked the student athlete, who doesn't want their parent to show up on the sidelines? Who would rather have their parent sit here than watch them and cheer for them and encourage them? Research shows that 31% of our athletes, so almost 1/3 of our students or our athletes this weekend would rather have you not be here than be on the sidelines. So you have to ask yourself is, what are your actions? Why is this happening? It's because they hate the sport? Or is there something going on up here that's affecting them like, nah, I'm done. I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. And the number one reason why they quit sports, research shows it's just no longer fun. Why did you play sports? It was fun. And a lot of times when I talk to my athletes, it's like, I talk to professional athletes, they're like, I just need to find joy in it. There's so much pressure. There's so much tension. There's so many voices in my head. And there's so much pressure, I lost the love of the game. And these guys are making millions of dollars. And they're doing it because it's a paycheck, not because of the passion. So we have to ask ourselves again, as you being the most important, most influential individual in their life, how can we be better? So how do we get here? So today's title is all about prepare and protect. I saw this picture about 10 years ago, it's always stuck with me. Prepare the child for the path, not the path for the child. I heard this the other day, there's 4 types of parents. There's the lawnmower parent, right? You plow down everything in front of you to make sure your child's path is perfect. There's the helicopter parent. You hover over to make sure every movement's correct. Don't do it this way, have watch you, don't do it that way. Helicopter. There's the bulldozer parent. You're going to bulldoze and plow over everything to make sure it's smooth. And the last one is the Velcro parent. You're stuck to it. Here's the thing. Most important thing, we got to support it. We have to love them. We have to encourage them. Okay? The number one thing that I talk to with athletes about the mindset is the lack of confidence in it. COVID, social media, comparison, judgment, impressions. Let's be honest, in high school, all that stuff matters so much. The lack of confidence is like an epidemic right now. So if we can help them with their confidence, obviously their performance will increase. And here's the next thing. The path is hard. Let's be honest, life is hard. But so is being successful. So I don't want to prepare my little son that I have. I'm trying to prepare him for the path of adversity, of struggle, of hard times. I'm not trying to give him the path, the yellow brick road, and say, hey, it's going to be perfect for you, because no, it's not. You guys know that. They don't. They're too young to understand what we're talking about here today. So I'm going to give you 5 steps, 5 ways for us to grow and develop our athlete. Number 1, no teaching from the sidelines. Now, some of you are like, damn, you're talking directly to me, Joe. Here's the thing. No one has ever said, there is no player that has ever said, please draw more attention to me on the court. There's no parent player that's ever said, hey, Dad, Mom, speak even louder so that they're all staring at me or staring at you. And I'll be honest, that was my mom. My mom was a 3-sport Division I athlete. She's in the Hall of Fame at University of Illinois State. Illinois State University. And every movement, Jeffrey, do this. Jeff, do that. No, Jeff. She was the loudest one. So I get it. But no one has ever said, hey, for me it was never, hey, Mom, please speak louder so there's more attention to me, more pressure on me. So here's the thing. We need to start asking. They're 15, 16, 17 years old, whatever. It's very simple. You ask them, what do you want from them? Because it's just like you and your boss. What you want is you want some kind of ownership. You don't want it to be a dictatorship. They don't want to be told exactly what to do and how to do it. Especially if they're going into a young man, young woman. The same way your boss, your manager, your supervisor is doing everything to tell you like you're a little chess piece, you don't like that either. So here's how we do it. You ready? You just ask. That's it. Hey, what do you need from me? Hey, how can I help you best? Hey, what do you want to hear from me from the sidelines so that I can help best support you? Just ask that. Just have a conversation. Don't be like, wait, why are you asking me this stuff? But again, we need to start having that open dialogue. There was a research study of 8,000 student athletes. 8,000 student athletes. Why do they play sports? Okay? Almost 8,000 student athletes. Where did to win pop up? It wasn't in the top 10, boys or girls, school sports, or travel sports. To win was not in the top 10 at all. The number 1 answer in all 4 of those categories was to have fun. To have fun. Now, another research study. If to have fun is the number 1 answer, there was another research study that really dove into what does to have fun mean. Because that's a very broad answer. So to have fun, this is the research study, and there was all these different answers of why to have fun is to play sports. Where did to win pop up into have fun? Had to be the top 10 answers, right? Have fun? No chance. Had to be a top 20 answer, right? No chance. A top 30 answer must have been why that having fun is to win the game. No chance. Had to be a top 40, right? No chance. If to have fun is the reason why they're playing, to win was the 48th reason in that research study. What was above that was having fun, meeting teammates, having great mentors, great coaches, great experiences, the travel, the gear, fighting through adversity, the struggle. So I have to ask you again, does your behavior, your attitude on the sideline correlate with the 48th reason why they're playing this sport? And again, this is not because you're a bad parent, this is because we've never been coached how to be a parent. If we can think differently, we can act differently. And if we can act differently, they will play differently, and your relationship will get better. I guarantee that. So, let's keep going. Number 1 was not instructed from the side. Number 2, not instructed when the ball is rolling. So let's talk about preparing versus protecting. Protecting, finding the solution, giving them the answers. We're fixing, we're praising the results. So here's the thing. The human brain isn't fully developed until in the mid to late 20s. So here's the thing. You guys see the solution before they do. Because your brain develops, you're saying, no, don't do it this way. No, retreat your way. No, pass it over here. No, because guess what? You see the solution. And you're like, oh, why are you so stupid? You're dribbling into the press. Oh, you're dribbling into the trap over here. Well, guess what? Because their brains don't understand it. But we see the solution, so we start church. Preparing. Long-term growth. We teach and encourage. We praise the effort. We're starting to loud prayer. And let me ask you this. Isn't this exactly what homework is? Homework is struggling, figuring it out the problem themselves, learning through adversity to solve the problem. So would you ever say, no, here's the answer for our homework. No, don't do it that way. Here's the right answer for homework. You would never do that because you have to understand they have to learn to work it out themselves. So why is it okay in sports, but it's not okay in homework, in art, in music, or any other thing? You never go to a band concert and say, stop the music, my son just played the wrong note. But I'm serious. And so what happens is this behavior, this attitude is so contagious. Raise your hand if you're frustrated with youth sports. 100%. 2 hands up go for me. So we have to start asking ourselves, is how can we be better? Number 2, after instructing all the balls rolling. I learned from an NBA player's dad. And he said, hey, what do you focus on? What do you focus on? He goes, oh, that's easy. Everyone focuses on the action. Everyone focuses on the minutes per game, how many points my son's scoring, is he starting? What does the stat line look like? He goes, that's easy. NBA player's dad says, I focus on the action between the action. I focus on what is the eye contact like. Everyone, I can see how many points my son scores. But I'm looking at eye contact when he gets subbed in and out. What is his body language like after he misses 5 shots in a row? When a ref makes a bad call, how does he conduct himself? Is he a good leader? In the huddle, on the bench? What is his body language, eye contact? Is he still giving high five? What is his energy like? It's the action between the action. Let me ask you this. Action or action between the action? What's going to create a better spouse, significant other, young man, young woman, better supervisor, better manager, better leader in 20 years? It's not going to be if it's 15 points a game. It's going to be the action between the action that creates a better young man or one young woman in 20 years from now. So we have to start understanding, why are we doing what we're doing for this game? And 100%, I wish you guys nothing but the best. I hope we get scholarships upon scholarships. I hope you guys play for a lot of years and make a lot of money. But let's be honest, from the percentages, we have to understand why we're playing the sport we play. Number 3, stop disrespecting authority figures. There's 4 roles in sports. There's 4 roles. The player, the umpire, official, ref. There is a official, and there are so there's audience. There's fans. Which role do you guys fall into? The audience. So what do audience do? They cheer. They give energy. They promote good, positive behavior. The reason sports gets messy, the reason we all love sports, is because it's a free highway and we all want to do all 4 roles all at the same time, which I can't. That's why we love sports. We all have an opinion. But also understand how much better would we all, how much more seamless would the sports life be if we all just stayed in our lane. What I tell the coaches, same thing. Know your role, stay in your role, and start in your role. If we just all start in our role, it'll be a lot easier. Here's the next thing. If I work with big crowds like this, or big groups like this, I'll put one person at half court. Let's say Big Anthony here, and I'll put it at half court, and I'll blindfold him. And I'll say, all right, on the count of 3, I'm going to turn Anthony around a few times, and everyone on the count of 3 are all going to help Anthony score this basket. So turn Anthony around and say, 1, 2, 3, and you all start shouting. Hey, go left, go right. No, Anthony, go this way. Hey, Anthony, go that way. No, Anthony, 4 steps this, go. That's about 45 seconds. What do you think Anthony does? He either quits, or he shoots the ball like way down here. So let me ask you this. What if I went to your work environment? And I said, no, don't do it that way. Now do it this way. No, you're doing it wrong. You're grammatically incorrect on this email. What do you think you do after about 4 months? And probably quit as well. So here's what I like to say to you guys. It's voices versus choices. As a young teenager, how many voices are in their head at once? From parents to players to teammates to coaches to refs to opponents to friends, to girlfriends, to boyfriends, to the student sections. And how many choices can they make at once?
One.
And no disrespect, but you don't control the playing time. So who should they listen to?
Their self.
Their coach. But here's the thing. Here's what I talk about with no disrespect, authority figures. Here's the reason why. There's a tug of war in their head. Because your whole life, you've said, respect your elders. Listen to your coach. Listen to your teachers. Listen to the principal. Respect all your elders. Same thing with my little son right now. My little 16-month-old. Hey, listen to the teacher. Hey, make sure they do what they say. And then guess what happens? How do I start this? You're the most important, influential, and impactful individual in your son or daughter's life. So when they hear your voice, now who do I listen to? Do I listen to you? Or do I listen to the person that you've always said to respect and listen to, but now I'm letting down you? And so there's a constant tug of war of who do I need to listen to at all times? And so why do you think so many 15, 16, 17-year-olds are struggling with their confidence nowadays? It's because there's so many voices in their head, more than ever before. And then there's social media and likes and comments, and I get confused that I want. We didn't have that back then. So what is that constant tug of war going on with them is because of the constant tug of war going on emotionally, psychologically within their minds. Number 4, car ride home. Woo. Ready to go here, parents? Here we go. So here's the thing. I was talking to some players, and they're like, no, Jeff, it's not the car ride home, it's the prison ride home. I can't get out. I can't get out. But here's the thing. In all seriousness, they've just been coached for 2 hours. They're physically tired, they're emotionally tired. The last thing they want to do is be coached some more. So what I typically say, and I've learned this from a sports psychologist who works with Major League athletes, actually he's a sports psychologist for Major League Baseball teams. He said, here's where you guys have conversations. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. He goes, 1, it's not the car ride home. It's not the dinner table meeting. But you have to meet them where they're at. So if they're shooting hoops outside, hey, you're just rebounding for them, be like, hey, you want to talk about the last game? Or hey, you want my opinion about the last game? Meet them where they're at. When they're playing video games, you grab another controller and let's just chop it up and talk. But again, the same way you don't want your boss to be a dictator or a helicopter watching your every move, you want ownership and a little bit of authority with that. It's the same thing with your son or daughter. Just ask them, hey, let's talk about last night. Hey, let's talk about what happened. Why we missed 3 in a row? Here's what I saw. But just have a rebound and having that casual conversation. It doesn't need to be a, hey, we're sitting down and I'm telling you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There's 2 quotes I love with this one. Parenting is caught more than it's taught. It's the same thing with leadership. Leadership is caught more than it's taught. When you were 15, 16, 17-year-old, did you listen to your parents much? Probably not. I didn't. Did you watch their every move? If my parents were like, Jeff, you need to be outside working harder, you need to be more disciplined, you need to be more consistent, I'm like, Mom, Dad, you're not doing any of it. So why? It's good. Leadership, parenting is caught more than it's taught. The next one. You teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are. We all know the right thing to say. We all say the right things. But are we living it? Are you mentoring it? Are you just exuding it, exhibiting it all the time? You teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are. So I'll be honest. My little 16-month-old, I'm just trying to live everything that I want to exemplify. The discipline, the consistency, the love for my wife, my daily discipline, getting up early, the habits, the routines, the systems in my life, because I guarantee you, he's going to stop listening to me, and he's never going to stop watching me. Ever. So let's think about again, do your actions and attitudes and behaviors on the sideline correlate with how we want them to exemplify themselves moving forward on the court and off? Number 5. 5, I'll tell you Sunday. 5, I'll tell you on Sunday when we have the whole camp together. Okay? But again, so now that we're bad parents, but if you could take one thing away from this, one thing that you can start tweaking, the same way that I'm going to challenge them to take one thing away from this camp. Because I guarantee if they can take one thing and do that consistently, more intentional, more confidently, whatever, to be a better player, a better person on and off the court. It's the same thing with you. You take one thing away. Remember, what got you here won't get you there. What got you here won't get you there. And if you're anything like me, you want to be better, we got to start changing. Not in a bad way. We need to start changing. I need to be better as well. So that's asking. We need to start preparing our child for the path, not the path of the child. Last thing, this is just a podcast I have on mindset. It comes out weekly. It's not just for athletes, it's for all types of parents, leaders, coaches, mentors, and just life in general. That's my information. You guys will hear me say this a lot. If there's anything I can ever do for your son or daughter, please let me know. My job is to make everyone better. Okay, so this is just the start. This is the jump start. This is the kick start. You're going to be hearing a lot of me over this weekend, and I'm fired up. Okay, and I appreciate you guys. What we're going to do is we're going to go